few issues which are legal. I'll move from Article 1 of the Constitution, Your Lordships. That Article 1 has created organs of government. Among them is the organ of the judiciary. And it has clearly provided, Your Lordship, that the people of Kenya, in the exercise of their sovereignty, they have delegated their powers to those organs. In this case, the power under Article 165, Clause 4, is exclusively delegated to the Chief Justice. Your Lordship, in administrative law, we all write that a person who enjoys delegated powers cannot further delegate those particular powers. In this case, in this circumstance, Your Lordship, it is not known to the petitioners under what circumstances the Chief Justice may have delegated these powers to the Deputy Chief Justice. It is our humble submission, Your Lordship, that the powers and the functions under Article 165, Clause 4 are not capable of being delegated. Further to that, Your Lordship, you see clearly under Article 159 of the Constitution, which provides that, Your Lordship, that judicial power is derived from the people and shall be exercised by the courts and tribunals established by this Constitution for and on behalf of the people. That article again clearly indicates that this power under Article 165, Clause 4 is not capable of being delegated. How about, Your Lordship, in the Constitution? Your Lordship, I invite you to look at Article 160 or 260 of the Constitution. It provides if a function has been created to be executed by that particular organ, it is only that organ that is capable of executing that particular function. And for the question of further delegating that particular function cannot arise so as to say that the Deputy Chief Justice had the constitutional mandate to appoint this bench to adjudicate over these particular files. Your Lordship, we have put up a case that the Deputy Chief Justice has not only violated the Constitution, but also violated the rights of the petitioners to be heard under Article 50 of the Constitution. When they move to appoint a bench of this, the bench, and fail to notify the parties herein as evidenced by the counsel appearing for the petitioner in petition number 14, it tells Your Lordship that the expediency for which it was done was so as to meet the objective of setting aside the orders that were granted by your brother Justice Mongo and your brother Justice Mwita. Your Lordship, when you retire to make a ruling of our application, it is important that you pay serious attention to paragraph 12 of our affidavit, paragraph 21 again of the affidavit, paragraph 22 again, and also paragraph 27. And then you might want to ask yourself, under Section 10 of the High Court Organizations, High Court Administration Organization Act, how, under what circumstances, the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, authorize you to sit on a Saturday? Under what circumstances did the Chief Justice herself, Deputy Chief Justice herself, sit at night, in the wee hours of the night, ungodly hours, and constituted this bench? Your Lordship, is our humble submissions that Article 10 has only arrogated that function again exclusively to the Chief Justice, and that the Deputy Chief Justice has no power under Section 10 of the High Court Organization and Administration Act to order you or to authorize you to sit on an odd day like that or the Saturday. Your Lordship, permit me to draw your attention again to the case of Omtata. When you retire and the judgment will be highlighted by my learned friend, it is of importance, Your Lordship, that you look at paragraph 192 of that judgment. It has given the circumstances under which the Deputy Chief Justice can act in the absence of the Chief Justice. One is if the Chief Justice is indisposed, if he resigns, if he's dead, or if he's holded out of office. The question of leave to which we are submitting without knowledge whether that is the circumstance that led to the allocation of powers by the Chief Justice is not one of the grounds or reasons that the Chief Justice can exercise, the Deputy Chief Justice can exercise the exclusive powers meant for the Chief Justice. Finally, Your Lordship, all these averments contained in our affidavit have not been controverted by the respondents through a replying affidavit. They have only filed the grounds of opposition, to which they shall bring to your attention the case of container, which has been distinguished by the case of Okia Omtata. The grounds contained in our affidavit, Your Lordship, are uncontroverted and they must be admitted as such. I beg to rest my case.
May we request counsel to give us specific reference to Okio Matata has been mentioned by two counsel. He's probably the most prolific litigator in the history of Kenya, so we don't know which of his many cases are you referring to.
I will certainly be addressing my senior at the bar, senior at the academy, Professor Gideon Mugai. It is a pleasure